everyone. Today's topic is pin diagram of 8085 microprocessor. So first of all, what is 8085 microprocessor? 8085 microprocessor is a 8-bit microprocessor with 16-bit address bus. 8-bit microprocessor means it can take 8 bit at a time for processing, and 16-bit address bus means each 16-bit location can store 8-bit data at a time. So starting with the pin diagram of 8085 microprocessor, 8085 microprocessor is having 40 pin IC. 40 pin means each pin can be performing a individual function. So what are the 40 pins? The 40 pins are from pin number 1 to pin number So starting with pin number 1 and pin number 2. Pin number 1 and pin number 2 are crystal inputs, and pin number 3 and pin number 36. These are the reset pins. 36 pin number is reset in, that is active low signal, and pin number 3 is reset out pin. Then is pin number 4 and pin number 5, that is your serial input and output pins, that is for serial communication. Then is pin number 6 to pin number 11. Pin number 6 to pin number 11 are the interrupt pins. Then is pin number 12 to pin number 19 and pin number 21 to 28. So as I said, the address bus are of 16-bit. So the initial, that is your lower address lines, are multiplexed with the data lines. So these are like AD0 to AD7, and upper lines are not multiplexed. So these are like 21 to 28 from A8 to A15. Then is pin number 29 to pin number 39. These are what? Your timings and control signals. Timing and control signals means which are used for performing the operation on microprocessor. These are the signals that helps microprocessor to perform a operation. So next start with the individual explanation of the pins. So starting with pin number 1 and pin number 2. As I said, pin number 1 and pin number 2 are crystal input pins. So crystal input pin means every device or every IC microprocessor require a frequency. So here 8085 microprocessor, the pin number 1 and pin number 2, these two pins are used for providing the frequency. 8085 microprocessor is having a frequency from 3 to 5 megahertz. So this is your pin number 1 and pin number 2. Then is pin number 3 and pin number 36. Pin number 3 and pin number 36 are what? That are the reset pins. Reset pins means which are used to reset the microprocessor, or that are used to reset the peripheral devices that are connected with the microprocessor. So here we are having a pin number, that is your 36, that is reset in. Reset in is what? Active low signal. Active low signal means whenever we have to activate that signal, we have to provide a zero signal, a zero value. Reset in is that is used to reset the microprocessor. So whenever we have to reset the microprocessor, we are going to use reset in pin. And if we have to reset the peripheral devices that are connected across the microprocessor, so we have to use which pin? Pin number 3, that is your reset out pin. Reset out pin is what? That is used to reset the microprocessor, which are connected, that are used to reset the peripheral devices that are connected with the microprocessor. So pin number 3 for reset out, for resetting the peripheral devices, and pin number 36, that is your reset in pin, that is used to reset the microprocessor. If we are saying that we are resetting the microprocessor, what it means? It means that we are clearing the contents of PC. PC means the program counter as well as the instruction register. Then we are disabling all the interrupts. Then we are disabling the SOD pin and all the buses. All the buses means your data bus, address bus, control bus. These all buses are tri-stated. Then it will gives a high output signal to reset out pin. This is what? Whenever we are resetting the microprocessor, these functions are performed. That all the buses are tri-stated, Then all the interrupts are disabled, the contents of program counter and instruction registers are cleared. Next is pin number 4 and pin number 5. Pin number 4 and pin number 5. These two pins are serial communication pins. Serial communication pin means one bit at a time we can transfer the data. So here SOD stands for serial output data and SID stands for serial input data. So what are these pins? SID means serial input data. Whenever any peripheral device want to transfer the data to microprocessor, it will transfer one bit at a time via using SID pin. Similarly, if microprocessor has to transfer the data to any peripheral device that are connected across the microprocessor, so we are going to use SOD. SOD will transfer the data to peripheral device one bit at a time. Then is pin number 6 to pin number 11. Pin number 6 to pin number 11 are what? Your interrupt pins. So interrupt pins means, what is interrupt pins? Interrupt means we are disturbing or we are interrupting the microprocessor. So whenever we have to interrupt the microprocessor, why we are interrupting? Because if any peripheral devices that are connected across the microprocessor want to transfer or share the data, that peripheral device will provide the interrupt signal. So the number of pins that are provided with the microprocessor for providing the interrupts are from pin number 6 to pin number 10, and for that acknowledgement purpose pin number 11 is there, that is your interrupt acknowledge signal. So one by one we will start with the interrupt pins. So pin number 6, that is your trap pin. Pin number 7 is your RST 7.5. Pin number 8 is RST 6.5 and pin number 9 is RST 5.5. Pin number 10 is INTR. These are what? Your 5 interrupts in microprocessor. So based upon these interrupts, we are categorizing the interrupts. So how we are categorizing? We are categorizing the interrupts. The first one is maskable and non-maskable interrupt. We are categorizing these 5 interrupts based upon these categories: maskable and non-maskable interrupt, vectored and non-vectored interrupt. Third one is edge triggered and level triggered interrupt, and fourth one is priority based interrupts. These are what? The categories of interrupts. So 5 microprocessor interrupts are categorized according to these categories. Starting with, what are maskable interrupts? Maskable means disabling. That interrupts which are being disabled by microprocessor are your maskable interrupts. Maskable interrupts are those interrupts which can be enabled or disabled. Depending upon the requirement of microprocessor, we can enable, we can disable the interrupt. So enabling and disabling, how we can done this enabling and disabling? Enabling and disabling is done with the help of software instruction. We can provide an instruction to microprocessor whether you want to enable the interrupt or whether you want to disable the interrupt. Next is what are the maskable interrupts in 8085 microprocessor? So here RST 7.5, RST 6.5, RST 5.5 and INTR. These 4 interrupts are maskable. That means we can disable that interrupts or enable that interrupts depending upon the requirement, and if microprocessor is performing an important task, so microprocessor can disable these 4 interrupts except trap. So second category is what? Your non-maskable interrupt. Non-maskable, as the name says, non-maskable means that we can't disable that the interrupt which cannot be disabled either using a software, either using a hardware. So that are what? Your non-maskable interrupts. And trap. Trap is what? Trap is your non-maskable interrupt. It is what? Your non-maskable interrupt. Trap which cannot be disabled. This is your first category, maskable and non-maskable. Maskable means we can enable and disable, and non-maskable means we can't disable. Second category is vectored and non-vectored interrupts. So what are vectored interrupts? What are non-vectored interrupts? The first one is vectored interrupt. Vectored means those interrupts whose locations are predefined in microprocessor. Whenever the interrupt is provided by these pins, these interrupts, the microprocessor knows where to move the cursor or where to move the pointer for processing. So here the interrupt which have fixed memory locations for transfer of control from normal execution. So whenever the interrupt is provided through these pins, our location is predefined and microprocessor will shift its location to that particular location. That are what your vectored interrupt. And list of vectored interrupts are RST 7.5, RST 6.5, RST 5.5 and trap. That means these 4 interrupts are having a predefined location. So whenever any peripheral device want to transfer the data or providing an interrupt to microprocessor, microprocessor knows if RST 6.5 is there, what is the location if the interrupt is provided through this pin. So these 4 are what? Your vectored interrupts. Similarly, what are the locations for these interrupts? If I say RST 7.5 is there, if any interrupt is provided through this pin, it means microprocessor will move the cursor to 003C. Then RST 6.5 is there, if any interrupt is provided through this pin, microprocessor will move the cursor to 0034. Like similarly 002C, 0024. What these location means, at these locations are predefined instructions or programs are there, microprocessor will start executing that programs. Next is non-vectored interrupt. So vectored means the locations are predefined and non-vectored means the location is not defined. So whenever an interrupt is provided through this pin, through this interrupt, that means you have to provide the location as well. Whenever the interrupt is provided through non-vectored interrupt, the peripheral device or any other device which are connected with microprocessor has to provide the location as well. So what are the non-vectored interrupts, or what is the non-vectored interrupt? Only one, that is your INTR is a non-vectored interrupt. Non-vectored means where location has to be provided by the peripheral device or the user, that this is the location, you have to execute the program from that location only. Vectored means your locations are predefined, non-vectored means your locations are not defined. Then third category is edge triggered interrupt. So what is edge triggered? So what is your edge trigger? Edge trigger means we are having a waveform from 0 to 1. From 0 to 1, whenever there is a transition from 0 to 1, that is this one. This is what your edge triggering. So whenever there is a transition from 0 to 1, it means it is your high level triggering. And whenever there is a transition from 1 to 0, that means your low level triggering is there. So some interrupts, the 5 total number of interrupts of 8085 are categorized according this triggering also. Level triggered and edge triggered. This is what your edge triggering. And if we are talking about level triggering means whether the level is 0 or whether the level is 1. So if we are talking about level 1, what it means, it is having a 1 value or a high value, high level. Similarly, if we are talking about 0, 0 means a low level. So whenever a low level is there, that particular interrupt is going to be triggered or enabled. And if it is 1, then that particular interrupt is going to be enabled. Similarly for edge triggering. So what are the interrupts that are come under your edge triggering and level triggering? RST 7.5 comes under your edge triggering. That means whenever you have to activate interrupt 7.5, you have to edge triggered. Edge triggered means you have to provide the signal from 0 to 1 or 1 to 0 for activating this RST 7.5 interrupt. Similarly, RST 6.5, RST 5.5, INTR, that these three interrupts are what? Your level triggered. Level triggered means either you have to provide a 0 value or you have to provide a 1 value for activating, for enabling. Your trap interrupt, that is your first interrupt, is also a edge triggered as well as level triggered. That means either we can provide edge triggering or level triggering for enabling the trapped interrupt. The fourth category is your priority based interrupt. Priority based interrupt means we are assigning the priorities to these interrupts. What we are doing, we are assigning the priorities to these interrupts. So whenever a number of interrupts, not one, whenever a 2 or 3, means more than 2 number of interrupts are occurring, what microprocessor will do? Microprocessor will only handle that interrupt whose priority is having a highest. So here priority based interrupt means we are assigning the priorities and microprocessor will handle only that interrupt whose priority is highest. So what are the priorities that we are assigning? So priorities are, the highest priority interrupt is trap and the lowest priority interrupt is INTR. Trap and INTR that are having highest and lowest priority, RST 7.5, 6.5, 5.5 come under these categories. Trap is 1, RST 7.5 is 2, RST 6.5 is 3, RST 5.5 is 4, INTR is 5, means the lowest priority. So these are what your these are what your 4 priority based interrupts. Next is starting with the interrupts individually. Starting with the trap interrupt. Trap interrupt is what? Based upon that categories we are defining the trap interrupt. So first of all, we have to provide the category whether it is a maskable interrupt or non-maskable interrupt. So trap is what? Your non-maskable interrupt, which can't be disabled. Based upon priority, it is having the highest priority. Then what? Triggering, it is both edge as well as level triggered. And then trap is used where we are using the trap interrupt whenever we require a emergency shut off or for power failure. So these are what? Whenever we want that microprocessor will be interrupted, in which case the cases are like power failure or emergency shut off. So based upon 4 categories of interrupt, we are categorizing the interrupts of microprocessor. So trap is what? Your non-maskable interrupt. It is having the highest priority, edge and level triggered, and it is used when there is a power failure or emergency shut off. Similarly, second one is RST 7.5. So here again the same categories, maskable interrupt, second highest priority, positive edge triggered hai. Then third interrupt is RST 6.5. Again the same categories for this. It is a maskable interrupt, third highest priority, level triggered. Similarly for RST 5.5, again the maskable interrupt, fourth highest priority and also a level triggered. Then is pin number 10, it is what? Your INTR interrupt. And what are the specifications? Maskable interrupt is there, lowest priority, level triggered. These are what the 4 parameters. Then is pin number 11. If we are talking about pin number 6 to pin number 10, these are what? The interrupts of microprocessor 8085. What happens whenever microprocessor is handling the interrupt, microprocessor will send an acknowledgement signal to that particular device. So that particular device will get the acknowledgement through pin number 11, that is your INTA, interrupt acknowledge signal. And here is a complement. What complement means? A active low signal. So whenever there is a signal that is complement signal, so we have to provide 0 for activation. So INTA means interrupt acknowledgement signal, and it is provided to the peripheral device whenever microprocessor is handling any interrupt. Then is pin number 12 to pin number 19. Pin number 12 to pin number 19, these are what? Address and data pins. As I said in the starting that microprocessor address lines, lower address lines are multiplexed with the data lines. Why we are multiplexing? In order to reduce the number of pins. So in order to reduce the number of pins, lower address lines are multiplexed with data lines. So here lower address lines means A0 to A7. Total we are having address lines from A0 to A15. So lower address lines means A0 to A7 and higher address lines means A8 to A15. So what we are doing? We are multiplexing, we are combining lower address lines with the data lines. Data lines means D0 to D7. So multiplexing is what? We are combining these two signals. A single line is used for two purposes. That means if we are multiplexing address lines with data lines, it will get AD0 to AD7. So a single line for one address and data lines or 8 lines are used either for data, either for address. So how we are going to decide that these lines are having a data or a address? So that is decided with the help of ALE signal, that is your address latch enable signal. This signal will decide whether AD0 to AD7 are having address or data. So let's see that. What is your ALE signal? This is pin number 30. Pin number 30 is ALE. ALE stands for address latch enable. So what is there? Whenever we are having a ALE signal as 1, when we are saying ALE signal is 1, ALE signal 1 means your bus function as address lines or address bus. And if ALE equals to 0, what it means? The bus function as data lines. So it is clear that whenever we are saying ALE is 1, what means your AD0 to AD7 will behave as address lines or address bus. And if ALE is 0, that means your bus will behave as data bus. So dual purpose is being performed by microprocessor as we are multiplexing address lines with data lines. Next is pin number 29 and pin number 33. So what are that pins? That is your status pins. That are what? Your status pin, which will tell the status of microprocessor, whether microprocessor is performing a read operation or write operation. So these two pins are used to provide the status. So if two signals are there, that means the possible combinations are 4. That is from 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0 and 1, 1. 0, 0 means microprocessor will halt the operation. Halt means stop the operation. 0, 1 means microprocessor will start writing the data. Either microprocessor can write the data on memory or it can write the data on peripheral device, whatever device that are connected with microprocessor. So 1, 0 means it will perform the read operation. Read operation means reading. Reading can be done from peripheral device or it can be done from the memory. Then is 1, 1. 1, 1 means opcode fetch. So whatever be the opcode that are provided in the memory of microprocessor, if we are providing S0 and S1 as 1, 1, microprocessor will fetch that opcode from the memory. So these are what? The status signals. Then is pin number 34. Pin number 34 is your input output memory complement pin. Input output memory complement pin. So what it means? Input output memory complement. Input output means whenever microprocessor has to perform any operation on the input or output device, this signal should be 1. That means whenever you have to perform any operation on input output devices, then you have to provide a logic 1. One signal is provided for performing the operation on input output device. Similarly, if microprocessor has to perform the operation on memory device, so we have to provide here 0 signal. 0 means, why we are providing here 0? Because memory signal is active low. Active low means you have to provide here 0. This is your active high and memory is active low. So we combine this signal, input output memory complement signal, with status signals. What are the status signals? Your S0, S0 and S1. These two signals are combined with input output memory complement signal for performing the operation. What operations? Whether microprocessor will perform the read and write operation on input output device or memory device, or either microprocessor will fetch the opcode from memory. So see here, the table is same, that input output memory complement signal, S0 signal and S1. Based upon these signals, we can write the operation. What operations? Let's say here we are providing 0. Opcode fetch signal is 0. Opcode fetch operation is there. That means you are providing a 0 signal at memory complement. S0 and S1 are 1 and 1. So S0 and S1 both are high. That means opcode fetch operation is there. And if memory complement is 0, what it means? Microprocessor will perform the opcode fetch operation from memory. Similarly, we can take another example. Let's say input output write operation. For performing input and output write operation, what we have to do? We have to provide a active high signal at input output memory complement, and for writing operation, the S0 is 1 and S1 is 1. Similarly, we can calculate the values for memory write, input output read, interrupt acknowledge and halt signal. Then is pin number 32. Pin number 32 is RD complement. RD means read, and if we are providing here a complement, it means a active low signal. So whenever we have to perform the read operation, we have to provide here a active low signal. That is, you have to provide 0 for performing the reading operation. Then is pin number 31. Pin number 31 is write operation. WR complement. WR complement means, that is, again this write operation is also a active low signal. So for writing the data on memory or input output device, we have to provide here a active low signal. Then is pin number 35. Pin number 35 is ready. What ready signal is used? As we know, we are connecting the peripheral devices with microprocessor. So what is that? Here is a microprocessor and we are connecting the peripheral device with microprocessor. The speed of microprocessor is what? Faster, and the speed of that peripheral device is slower. So whenever we have to transfer the data, it is not possible that a faster microprocessor will transfer the data with slower peripheral device. The chances are the data may get omitted. So what we are doing? We are sharing a signal, that is your ready signal. Ready signal means whenever the device is ready for transferring the data or microprocessor synchronize with peripheral device, a ready signal is being shared. If this device is ready for sharing the data, the ready signal is going to be 1. That means it is for synchronization purpose. This ready signal is used to synchronize slower peripheral devices with microprocessor. This is your pin number 35. Then is pin number 37. Pin number 37 is clock out pin. Clock out pin. Pin number 1 and pin number 2 are clock inputs. As I said, we are providing the crystal input across pin number 1 and pin number 2 for generating the clock frequency. The clock frequency of 8085 microprocessor is 3 to 5 megahertz. So pin number 37 is clock out. What it means, the peripheral devices that are connected with microprocessor will get the clock frequency from this pin. That is your clock out pin. Then is pin number 38 and pin number 39. These two pins are called as DMA pins. DMA means direct memory access signal. Direct memory access signal. What it means, direct memory access signal? Initially what is happening, that this is your microprocessor, this is the memory of microprocessor, and here is a peripheral device. So whenever a peripheral device has to access the memory of microprocessor, it will provide the signal to microprocessor, then microprocessor will send the signal to memory. What it means, that microprocessor will act as an intermediator. Microprocessor is acting as intermediator between a peripheral device as well as memory. By using DMA signals, direct memory access signals, this microprocessor will be bypassed and this peripheral device will directly access the memory of microprocessor. This will help any peripheral device to access the memory of microprocessor. First of all, hold pin. Hold pin means a peripheral device will send a hold signal to microprocessor. It means peripheral device wants to access the memory of microprocessor by providing a hold signal. Then what microprocessor will do? Microprocessor will stop its processing, releases all the buses, data bus, address bus, data bus, and provide that buses to the peripheral device for accessing a memory device. Then is next pin, that is your hold acknowledgement pin. So whenever I say microprocessor is what? Microprocessor is providing a hold signal. That means microprocessor is releasing the buses and stop its own working. Then a hold acknowledgement signal is provided to that peripheral device. This is your memory. Here is microprocessor and then is the peripheral device. Initially this hold signal is being shared to microprocessor. If microprocessor releases its buses, stop its working, microprocessor will send a hold acknowledgement signal to the peripheral device. For providing the acknowledgement that the buses are released, peripheral device now can directly access the memory of microprocessor. That is your pin number 39. Then is pin number 20 and pin number 40. So pin number 20 and pin number 40 is what? That is your VCC and VSS, or a ground pin. Ground and VCC. We are providing here a plus 5 volt for its working. So whenever power is there, we are providing a ground signal also. So this is what your pin diagram of 8085 microprocessor. Thank you.